In this question, we know that there might be an error when we send the data in a noisy channel. From the statement, the probability that the transmitter sends data 0 is 0.6, and the data 1 is 0.4. When the data 0 is sent, it may be received with an error, which means that it may be received as data 1. And the same circumstance also happens when data 1 is sent. So, in this question, there are totally 4 circumstances, and the first is when transmitter sends data 0, and the receiver receives data 0. The second circumstance is that the transmitter sends 0, and the receiver receives data 1. The third circumstance is that the transmitter sends data 1, and the receiver receives data 1. The fourth circumstance is that the transmitter sends data 1, and the receiver receives data 0. So in the question 1, we use R to represent the data that the receiver receives, and and R can equal to 0 or 1. And in this question, we need to find the probability of PR equals to 0. And we can find that the event of R equals to 0 includes 2 circumstances. The first is when transmitter sends data 0, and the receiver receives data 0. And the circumstance is that when transmitter sends data 1 and the receiver receives data 0. So the probability of PR equals 0 equals to P1 as the probability of the circumstance false. And we can find that the event that the transmitter sends 0 and the event that the data 0 is sent correctly are independently events. So the probability of the first circumstance is equals to 0.6 multiple 0.7, and the result is 0.42. And the probability of the fourth circumstance is P4 equals to 0.4 multiple 0.2, and the result is 0.08. So the probability of R equals to 0 is PR equals to 0 equals to 0.62 as 0.08, and the result is 0.5. And this is the first question. In the second question, we use error to represent the event that when one is event that 1 is received but the transmitter sends 0. So the probability of error equals to the probability of the second circumstance as the probability of the fourth circumstance. And the probability of the second circumstance is p second equals to 0.6 multiple 0.3, and the result is 0.18. From the first question, we know that the fourth circumstance, the probability of the fourth circumstance is p4 equals to 0.08. So the probability of an error is p error equals to 0.18 as 0.08, and the result is 0.26. So this is the answer of the second question.